Hello and welcome to my world. As a lot of folks know, for a long time I was a big wrestling fan, so I was going to have some type of take or point of view when it comes to the rumor as of 2 a.m. on January 11th, 2023, that Vince McMahon has sold World Wrestling Entertainment to Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. And I want to tell you right now, the only reason Vince McMahon did that is because of his own fragile ego. Much like Donald Trump, Vince McMahon has an ego that is so fragile, you can just tap it lightly with a little pin hammer, ding ding ding, and it would shatter. And because think about all the stories about Vince McMahon that basically have been proven to be true, from all the hush money that he has used to keep people quiet because of his own bad behavior and using his position as the head of an owner of WWE to get individuals to do certain things for him or attempt to do things for him and then quiet them for one reason or another. I mean, hell, the fact that he basically paid for the cover up of Jimmy Snuka, murdering his girlfriend back in the 1980s. Everyone knows it to be true. But simple as that. I mean, and then you have the Mike McGurk situation in the early 1990s, the steroid trial. When you just look up Vince McMahon's appearance on Donahue to see how he responded to a lot of to a number of different things there. Look how Vince McMahon handled the Owen Hart situation in Fallout, the Chris Benoit situation in Fallout, and then this past year when a lot of his bad behavior was coming to a head, and he was going out on television in a clear act of defiance of like, I'm Vince McMahon. This doesn't matter. I'm Vince McMahon. I own the WWE. Blah, 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 blah. And then he suddenly retires. Him retiring was such a big blow to his ego because he had to run away. He had to run away with his tail tucked between his legs. And then here comes blow to ego number two. Vince is gone. He has no creative input. He's the principal owner, but he can't. He retired, gave positions of head of creative, his position on the chairman of the board, and then he started seeing that the WWE is actually doing well without him. That the creative is actually being praised. The WWE is getting positive press for the first time in 20 years regarding its creative direction on a whole, on all of its major of all three shows, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and the return of various superstars like Johnny Gargano and Emma and Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, and how they're being put in positions to actually succeed and actually not be used in a way that actually hurts them as characters. And the entire individuals being shuffled around to make everything better, and not just cater to make it cater to an audience of millions instead of an audience of just one, and that one being Vince McMahon himself. So that was he had to run away, and then he saw it was actually doing well without him. So that was two blows to Vince's ego. So with everything, when he sees an opportunity to return, he's like, the rumor is he's going to not also, as principal owner, he still has the control over, like, has final say in terms of any major contracts and deals that the company does, because it's his company as the principal owner. He has that power, has that right. Beyond that, so that meant it's like the rumor was that he was not going to authorize any new TV deals or any major anything that would have required his signature as principal owner of the company in and of itself. He was not going to do unless he was reinstated as chairman of the board with the rumored that he was going to sell the company as quickly as possible. And why? Because his own ego. He had to run away. He had to give everything up. And he saw, when he gave everything up, he saw it was actually doing well without him. That's why he sold it to Saudi Arabia. What the rumor is, he's selling it to Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. So that's all it is. It's an ego. It's an ego stroking move by Vince McMahon for Vince McMahon in and of itself. No one actually benefits from it. If I was a wrestler working for WWE right now, I would probably be looking at the independent scene, what's going on in Japan and in Europe and everything of that sort. Start planning to move on because major releases, major cuts are probably coming, or like not wanting to work for Saudi Arabia in and of itself. When Saudi Arabia's, again, public investment fund bought interest into SNK, I believe a number of people who were working at SNK left. And SNK is the video game company behind Fatal Fury and oh shoot, because I played a bunch of their video games this past year part of the 40th anniversary collection. But a bunch of people from SNK left. Not a lot, but quite a few left because they did not want to work for a company. They didn't want that blood money on their hands outright. So how many people working for the WWE are going to stay there in terms of just performers? Because this move just strikes me as like, there's no way John Cena's ever coming back again. You think The Rock is going to go back to the WWE under these circumstances? Hell no. I mean, they were able to get John Cena for one of those blood money funded super shows in Saudi Arabia. They got him for one, and that was it. They try to get the rumor speculation. They try to get The Rock on several of those. No dice there. But you think either of those two are going to want to put what they've been trying to do in Hollywood, jeopardize that by being at WrestleMania if this sale ends up being true? Hell no. Vince McMahon on Egos basically has made sure that that does not happen at all. I mean, sure, it could happen, but it's not looking good. I really doubt it. Then on top of that, everything else, you got Stephanie McMahon announcing that she's retiring resigning her position as co-CEO. And that leaves Nick Khan as the sole CEO of WWE. And from what I know of Nick Khan and things that he's done in his track record, he's often in a position of being an executive type that is brought into major companies to make sure a sale happens. And from what I understand, someone like him stands to benefit greatly financially because it gets like a great commission fee of it in case the company gets sold while he's in charge of, like, as a chief executive officer, chief operating officer, someone of that type of position. So there's my takes on this. So it's simple as that. All an ego trip for Vince McMahon. So with that said, we'll talk to you next time when something catches my interest to talk about. Have a good one.